and welcome to the CultCast, the best Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. Joining me today is D. Griffin Jones. Hello, Griffin.
Good evening. Right at the top of the show, I have a quick apology I'd like to make. Last week, I accidentally said the Apple crossbody strap was $99 when it is in fact $59. So if that discouraged anybody from participating in rampant consumerism, I apologize.
Wow, misinformation and disinformation.
Okay, well, thank goodness we got that out of the way.
Yep.
Critical fact check.
Right. And Lewis Wallace. Here's Lewis. Hello, Lewis.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's all right, although it's muggy and wet and all kinds of crazy weather here in San Francisco.
What is going on? I feel like I'm in Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, it's going to change this weekend. They've got a heat wave coming in.
What?
It's going to be blazing hot. I just looked at the weather forecast. It's like hot coming up. So
Believe it when I see it.
Some California weather at last. Well, anyway, on the show this week, we've got some insane Apple leaks. Madness. What's going on? What's going on over there in Cupertino? It's completely crazy. They've got the iPad Pro completely unboxed and benchmarked, even, way before its release. So we're going to discuss that. We've got some, one of our writers looked into it and got a good theory about how they got it. The leaks just keep coming. Vision Pro, MacBook Pro, confirmed, all kinds of leaks coming from all sorts of places. It's leaking like a sieve over there. It's insane. Then there's some bad news, though, as well, about the Vision Pro. Bad news, very bad news. And then we're going to talk about our very own David Snow's setup, which is going to be the highlight of the show. We talk about so stay tuned for that. And there's there's huge news in the world of mice, right? A massive mouse.
Rodent infestation? What?
Oh, it is an infestation, yeah. Anyway, I can't wait to talk about that because Lewis knows a lot about this particular
Steeped in knowledge.
We're going to go deep into this particular story. But before we get on with the show, we would like to thank our wonderful sponsors, Squarespace.
Sure. So Squarespace is the all-in-one place where you can create your website. You can start a completely personalized website with their new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint, where you can choose from professionally curated layout and styling options to build your unique online presence from the ground up. And it's not just, one size fits all. You're not getting a website that looks like everybody else's. You can tailor it to your brand or business and make sure it's still optimized for every device. You can easily launch and get discovered fast with integrated and optimized SEO tools. So you show up organically in all those Google searches, which is exactly what you want these days. Even if you've never built a website before, even if you have, even if you're not really interested in building a website, all of us have used Squarespace before because look up a local restaurant or business. They probably got a website built with Squarespace. They have some great designs, are just really intuitive, collapsible menus, full bleed images. You can make checkout seamless for your customers with simple but powerful payment tools, accept credit cards, Apple Pay, and PayPal, and in eligible countries, offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. You can sell exclusive content on your site by adding a paywall to sell memberships or courses, sell files your customers can download like PDFs, music, or ebooks. They've got it all built in, everything you need to get started. And they have a pretty expansive plugin system, a lot of third-party tools you can add on to make it easy to expand your website if you want, all with no coding. It's super simple. Squarespace.com/cultcast for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain with code CultCast at checkout. That's squarespace.com/cultcast.
All right, very nice. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this unboxing video, which I'm sure everyone's seen. This is completely bonkers. There's this Russian YouTuber called Wilsacom, I think is how you pronounce his name. Wilsacom? How do you do it in a Russian accent? Anyway, he was able to unbox a 2025 iPad Pro, and he did this all on video, and he ran benchmarks on the thing. This is, of course, the update to the iPad Pro, which hasn't been released yet, and this is bad. He got a box product, pulled it out of its box and then ran the tests on it. This is, of course, we've never seen this before, except last year when he did the same thing with the M4 MacBook Pro. And he had this a month before the laptop launched. So it's not a hoax. This it looks like this is real. So he ran these benchmarks. He ran the Geekbench 6 multi-core CPU test, and he found a 16% performance gain over the M4 iPad Pro. But where's the other one? The multi-core was about, what, 10% or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of modest. I mean, kind of what you'd expect. But then there's this massive leap in 34% in graphics performance. So the GPU performance of this thing is way up there.
And this is sort of the same thing that we've seen on the iPhone 17. Like, yeah, modest update to the CPU, but the graphics, they have like machine learning accelerators in each GPU core, and it's got like 6 GPU cores or 5 or 6. So they build the M5 out of the A17 Pro chip, and it's all the same technology, all the same cores, and so yeah, the M5 is also going to have a big leap in graphics.
It allows for more complex ray tracing, better games performance, but also AI, right? I mean, this is going to improve AI performance too, no?
Oh yeah, because that's all based on like GPUs and the actual neural engine itself.
Yeah, and these things are already screamers anyway, aren't they? I mean, these chips are way up there, way better than anybody else, than Qualcomm. And although Qualcomm, I saw some tweet that they're catching up. Mm-hmm. In terms of
I think CPU performance, but this is a more modest CPU year. I think the M6 is going to be a bigger update for that, and they'll probably pass them again. But it is getting more competitive. We've seen reports of Apple losing some of their top talent on the Apple Silicon team, but it does mean that everything will be more faster and more competitive. It won't be Apple lapping everybody else year after year. Yeah.
Anyway, and so the other thing is it has 12 gig of RAMs, which is 12 gigabytes of
RAMs.
RAM.
Whoa! For maximum headbutting.
Yeah. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 50% more than the current M4 base model. So that's a pretty big leap. 8 to 12. Not bad, not too shabby at all. But here's the bad news. Or I guess the good news. I don't know. Is it good or bad? It's got the same design as the previous generation, the M4 iPad Pro. So if you've got some cases or whatever, it's going to fit. No problem there. One thing that it doesn't have is a second front-facing camera, or at least according to Wilsicum, the Russian YouTuber, he could not find another camera on the front, I believe. So there was a lot of rumors about that. It was going to have 2 cameras, but apparently it's only got 1. Too bad. Anyway, so basically this is the iPad Pro with the M4 is being replaced by the M5. And
a second Face ID scanner, though. Like, people were saying, it's great that they moved it to the camera and Face ID sensor to the horizontal edge, but if you happen to hold it vertically, it's really easy for your thumb to cover up the camera or Face ID sensor, and suddenly it doesn't work, and catches you off guard for a second. So the rumor was saying, they would have 2 of these, one on the long edge and on the short edge, but apparently that rumor did not come to fruit.
Too bad. Yeah, it's a big disappointment. Oh, I'm sorry. So Wilsicum, though, is not a fan of iPads, apparently. Like, he's much more of a computer guy. So he didn't really talk about how amazing this thing, how slim and lightweight it is, and he makes no mention of this tandem OLED display that's way better looking than any screen in any MacBook. So he didn't even touch upon any of that stuff. But the thing is, this is probably rumored to be unveiled in just a few weeks, in October, probably at Apple's October event. So we probably don't have to wait very long to see this. But we are going to have to wait much longer for the M5 MacBook, or Macs anyway, M5 Macs. They're probably going to be coming early next year, early 2026. So Rajesh, our writer, had a quick look around, and this Wilsicum guy's got he's like the Marcus Brownlee of Russia. He's got 10 million subscribers. He's Mr. Tech YouTube, and speculation is that he got this. The one thing that they have in common between this iPad Pro and the M4 MacBook that he revealed last year is that they were both made in Vietnam. So the speculation is that it's coming out of the Luxshare factory in Vietnam, which Apple contracts out to. And of course, there's no official Apple channel in Russia. The only way to get Apple products is through sort of on the grey market or through third-party resellers. So Apple doesn't really have any, the kind of clout in Russia to come down on these guys. It's a bit of a wild west out there. If Marcus Brownlee or some Western YouTubers have got this, they would have been subject much more to the heavy hand of the law that Apple would have brought down on them. So It's interesting. I thought though that they're getting these things. I mean, this is. Have we ever seen this before? The boxed products leaked before this, before the M4 MacBook. I don't think
so. I mean, these are just fully unboxed and fully functional. Like, I think the theory is that because in Russia, Apple doesn't. They ceased all Russian operations. They don't sell any products in there, not since the Ukraine invasion, but people in Russia are still getting these things through the gray market, and so now that means they're getting when Apple starts manufacturing these new products, they're getting the new stuff before everybody else on the same gray market. So kind of fascinating there. It just so happens that the two products he's gotten a scoop on haven't actually been very interesting so far. Like the M4 MacBook Pro is a bit of a boring spec bump. The M5 iPad Pro is a bit of a boring spec bump. I mean, it'll be really interesting if he gets his hands on like an all new design, like the OLED MacBook Pro that's supposedly going to be like the M6 one, next year. The fact that these products were leaked in advance is probably the most interesting fact about them.
I don't know. I mean, it's a beautiful looking machine. I'd love to drop a couple of grand on one of these, but maybe next year. The M6, I think, is going to be the upgrade, isn't it? And like you said, the new MacBook Pros that are coming out are going to be pretty nice, but the one to wait for is the one after, isn't it? The one with the OLED screen and
possibly a touch screen, as we've been talking about before,
right. Yeah.
And another die shrink on the processor. So,
and when's that supposed to be? When's that rumored to be coming out?
I think next fall.
Okay, so they'll have a spec bump in the spring.
Well, as we'll see in the next story, the M5 MacBook Pro might actually be coming sooner than we think. So the FCC accidentally exposed Apple's plans for several unreleased products, including an updated Vision Pro headset, new MacBook Pro models, and refreshed iPad Pro devices, according to reports on Tuesday. The leaks mark the latest in a series of unexpected disclosures from the regulatory agency that's probably frustrating all those people in Cupertino. Earlier this week, they leaked iPhone 16e schematics, like hundreds and hundreds of pages of, confidential, like technical information just on a PDF on the web accidentally. So we wrote a separate story about that. And I try like leafing through this document. If you're not a hardware engineer,
right.
It'll be complete nonsense to you. But just like hundreds and hundreds of pages.
It's 170 pages, isn't it? Of super technical detail about everything you'd ever need to know about the iPhone 16e. Of course, it's a gift for Samsung and Xiaomi especially, right? Their stuff is like cloned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like pinouts for all the chips on the circuit boards and stuff like that, like crazy stuff. Who's in charge of that FCC? They're not doing a very good job, but these new leaks confirm Apple's work on a successor to the Vision Pro that we've been hearing about. The current Vision Pro ships with an M2 chip. The updated model will feature an M5 processor, so it sounds like it'll have a big jump in performance there. It'll definitely put that GPU to good use. Notably, the testing documents indicate the headset will continue using Wi-Fi 6 rather than upgrading to Wi-Fi 7, as there's no evidence of 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi support. That'll be sad for all 7 people who are going to buy that. The timing of this leak suggests a potential announcement could arrive soon, possibly at an October or November event, where Apple might also unveil M5 powered Macs and iPads. They reference model numbers for an unreleased MacBook Pro, likely featuring Apple's M5 chip, and the iPad Pro variants that we've just heard about that were actually leaked, both 11 and 13-inch models and Wi-Fi and cellular. Interesting, while the M5 iPad Pro models appear to support Wi-Fi 7, the MacBook Pro doesn't. So my theory about this is that the new iPad Pro is going to get Apple's N1 chip for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and like Thread radio support. And that's why that has Wi-Fi 7. But my guess is that the MacBook Pro won't. And so it'll be stuck on Wi-Fi 6.
Why would they not put it in the MacBook Pro?
Maybe it wasn't designed with that product ready yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine the MacBook Pro probably has a longer lead time because it has to get the M5 Pro and Max chips. And so maybe it was designed before the N1 chip was ready. I don't know. Just a theory.
Yeah.
My head spin.
FCC filings typically appear just a few weeks before a product launch, indicating Apple may be preparing announcements for the coming months. With this document being leaked indicates that the MacBook Pro might actually be coming this fall after all, rather than the following spring.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, that's what it looks like, doesn't it? I mean, if all this stuff is queued up, this looks like what they're gonna. Isn't this the October event lineup, right? Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure if it'll be an event. I think we're probably in for another series of press releases.
Press releases, yeah.
Especially since last month's event was, the iPhone event, but they honestly like breezed through it. It was super quick, over and out. I wonder if Apple's, sort of realizing that people are getting tired of the event videos and maybe they're dialing them down a little bit.
I don't know. I thought they were getting record numbers when they had millions and millions of people that tuned in for, well, at least for the iPhone one anyway.
Yeah. But they kept it quick.
Yeah. Well, mercifully, thank you, thank you, Tim. For
God.
Yeah, it looks like quite a lineup of stuff, isn't it? I mean, that Apple's churning this stuff out fast and furious. I mean, and I mean, the good news I think for cheapskates like me is that you can get the older ones. I mean, like the M1 now, the M1 MacBook Air or M2 MacBook Air, even they're super cheap these days, aren't they? And they're still like great machines. So if you're looking for a bargain, I mean, you go get the previous version.
Yeah. I guess also interesting, unmentioned in this FCC report is the rumored A17 powered MacBook that was going to be, much cheaper.
Right.
Not mentioned in here, so maybe that's not coming out until next spring.
Right. I thought that was the rumor anyway, wasn't it?
But I guess it's confirmed not to be coming this year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what's going on over there? I mean, all these leaks. I mean, this is, I guess, everything this year that Apple's released has been leaked, isn't it? Or is going to release has been leaked. I mean, the iPhone 17 lineup, that was all well known. Almost everything, wasn't it?
Pretty much the only surprise was the square sensor in the camera.
Oh, on the
true.
selfie one, the front camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there weren't many surprises at all. It's a leaky boat over there. Tim Cook? Come on, what's going on? Steve Jobs is spinning.
This much is out of his control. That's just the FCC. Like,
yeah, right.
Whoops.
you can't do anything about that.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to call up Trump and start berating him on the phone.
Berating him by giving him another $1 million donation.
Yeah,
A gold trophy.
I think not. Anyway, let's talk about the Vision Pro, which is, I mean, there's a bit of a shake-up here. Right, Lewis?
Yeah. This report just came out this week. Supposedly, Apple executives told employees last week that they're putting the brakes on the development of a lighter, cheaper version of the Vision Pro. Supposedly, Apple was going to release this by 2027, but now it's like, oh, geez, let's stop working on that. Let's start working on smart glasses because, this little company called Meta keeps churning out smart glasses, and they're apparently becoming popular. And Apple's still like years away from releasing one, right? So,
and Meta just came out with their first one with a screen that's apparently getting good reviews.
Right. What's it called? The Meta Ray-Ban display.
Ray-Ban. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Something
confused
like
with all
that.
the product names. But, they just came out with that. It's an $800 thing. Of course, Apple's will be twice that much at least.
Meta's subsidizing them, aren't they? I mean, these are being sold at below cost.
Right, that's what I read. It's like
share.
it's like doesn't even cost. It doesn't even cover the cost of development of the hardware. But let's see. I mean, Vision Pro has always been like a stepping stone to the smart glasses, right? I mean, Tim Cook was talking about this, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something, how, augmented reality glasses, that's the future. And the problem is, like, the technology doesn't exist right now to do it the way Apple wants to do it, which will be, the best ever. Like they did with the Vision Pro, which they come out with a $3,500 headset that's the best that nobody can afford or wants to wear very long.
Well, they're pioneering the software because what I've seen from the Meta stuff, I mean, it looks just like it's a rip-off of Vision OS. It looks almost exactly the same kind of interaction model, very similar looking menus and navigation, and I mean, like Apple, even though everyone's dissing the Vision Pro, it's setting the vision, isn't it, for AR and VR.
Well, it's always been that, right? This is the best device. Nobody says it's bad. Everybody says it's great. It's just expensive and heavy and, socially awkward. And there's not that much immersive content, right? I mean, Apple's started to release some more of that lately. or they laid out their plans for the stuff they're going to release. But it's, I mean, that's still the best use for it, right? I mean, watching movies or watching immersive content. Apple's trying to push it as like a productivity thing, trying to get enterprise businesses to use it. But
we have Mr. Vision Pro productivity right here, Griffin Jones, who
when was the last time you put it on?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I've had to do more work that's required my computer, so I haven't been able to use it because I don't have Final Cut Pro on the Vision Pro. I don't, and WordPress, which is the thing that I write all of my articles in, that's been kind of broken on Vision OS as of last I checked. So I was like, well, I can't do that anymore. So
please don't tell me you're writing in the CMS. Oh my God.
No, I do writing in Mars Edit, which is another excellent Mac app that isn't available on the Vision Pro. So
right, yeah, but adds a bunch of dodgy code to your stories. But apart from that,
that was just a non-breaking space. I don't think it's a big deal. Let's see. So I guess we should give credit where credit's due. I know you hate this, Leander, but that scoop about the delay comes from Gurman, who cites people with knowledge of the matter, anonymous sources, of course. So he also gave kind of an update on where Apple's at with getting smart glasses happening, and this is a direct quote from him. The company is working on at least 2 types of smart glasses. The first one, dubbed N50, will pair with an iPhone and lack its own display. Apple aims to unveil this model as soon as next year, ahead of a release in 2027. Apple's also working on a version with a display, something that could challenge the just-released Meta Ray-Ban display. The Apple version had been planned for 2028, but the company is now looking to accelerate development. So there you go.
The story here is they're pulling the engineers off of the cheaper Vision Pro product, or killing that, and then hoping if they throw more engineers at it, they can get it done faster, which
makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is that? The one without if it doesn't have a screen, what will it have? Cameras, speakers?
Yeah, I mean that's what like the first version of the Meta glasses was, right? It's just like
basically just a camera and speaker. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really don't understand why anybody would strap a pair of glasses on for those features. I wear glasses every day for the past God knows how many decades, and if I didn't have to wear glasses, no way would I. So I can't imagine wearing it just to have like a mediocre camera on my forehead.
Yeah, but who's going to buy these things? Nerds and Apple enthusiasts, who, like 90% of which already wear glasses.
Right. Well, if they come up a way where the prescription, like if I could have a zoom in my glasses, so I could actually see where the dart landed in the board, I would 100% go for smart glasses.
Yeah, that's a feature that they've just built into Vision OS 26. They have a new accessibility feature where you can have like a floating magnifying glass in the center of your vision that's zoomed in.
Wow!
So
like a bionic eye.
Yeah, and presumably
Does it do that?
The version with a display that could have that too.
Whoa, that sounds really cool. Have you played with that?
I haven't yet. No.
I'm going to strap mine on right after this. It's right up there because it's not charged up, but
yeah,
I'll have to remedy that.
An hour after that.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. That's a very, very cool idea for a really good use case. I don't know, having a camera. Remember the whole glass hole thing, though? I mean, do you think it's going to fly? There's going to be a lot of social backlash, I think, even with an Apple product.
I think Google Glass took the fall so that Meta can pick up the baton and keep going, because these Meta glasses have been incredibly popular, even though they're basically just a camera and headphones that just blast sound around your ear.
Have you actually ever seen one in real life, though?
No, maybe I have.
I'm not
they
sure
just
you
look
would
like
know.
Normal glasses.
Right, that's the thing. Like the thing with Google Glass was it looked like something out of a 90s sci-fi movie, right? So you walk in with this weird off-center, or whatever. I don't remember exactly what they looked like, but they weren't like normal glasses. Those Ray-Bans look like normal old Ray-Ban. There's no. I think they have a light that comes on when they're recording, so that supposedly you can tell if someone's recording you. But I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody wearing them.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Not that I know of, anyway. Yeah, what happens when the battery swells and it crushes your skull? You
that was the problem with the Samsung Smart Rings.
Oh my God, that was a horror show tweet, that guy.
Right.
Yeah. In case listeners haven't heard, Samsung has this new Smart Ring out, and because it's Samsung, the battery started swelling. But the thing is, they're swelling to the point where you can't take it off your finger, but also you can't just cut it off either, because 75% of the way around inside the ring is battery, and you can't just slice through a battery or it'll explode and cut your finger off. So it's like a special part that you have to cut off. Like,
how did the guy
nightmare.
get it off in the end? He got it. Well, he wouldn't. The story broke because he wasn't allowed on an airplane, was he? The stewards stopped him boarding the aircraft with this potentially explosive ring. How did he get out? He got off in the end, though, didn't he?
I think they took him to an ER, and I think they said that they put on like fluid, some kind of like lubricant or something, like medical grade lubricant to get this thing off of him.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
But then they sent. Yeah, no, it would be pretty scary, especially if the thing keeps swelling. And then they, sent him a goodie bag, didn't they? They all kinds of.
Great. Here's one for each finger. God Almighty.
Yeah, I mean that is a bit of a worry, don't you think? Like having those batteries so close to your eyes and your face.
Well,
Well,
I don't know
glasses
about
you can
that.
just pull off your face.
Yeah.
Didn't it reminds me of that Mission Impossible movie. Tom Cruise had a pair of glasses, didn't he? That exploded when he after he got a message. He got a message from the IMF or whatever from inside his glasses, and then remember he took them off and threw them at the camera, and then they exploded. That was
Designed
in 3D
by Samsung?
too. I don't remember the branding, but it probably was Samsung. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, this is that was the John Woo one. Which, I mean, this is an old movie now, like 10, 15 years old or more. But yeah. I don't know. You think it's exciting or what?
This news here? I mean, it's not exciting if you're waiting for a cheaper, lighter Vision Pro.
I honestly think this might be a better strategy, though, because how cheap do we really think Apple's quote-unquote cheaper Vision Pro was actually going to be? $2,000?
Probably.
That's still enormously expensive. Like, they scrapped that for a product that's even, to accelerate an even lower-end model that's, actually more affordable and has been proven in the market to provide utility to people.
Right. Way more useful.
I think this is honestly a smart move. Like, yeah, they'll keep making the actual Vision, the Pro Vision Pro. They've got one coming out next month, and I don't think they've yet scrapped the full redesign of that one that's coming like a few years down the road. But 2027, 2028, or maybe two models in 2027 that are glasses that people will actually buy and use for
Right.
$1,000, $1,500. That sounds like a good move.
Yeah, I mean, the timeline on this has always seemed crazy to me. Like, when the Vision Pro came out and they're talking about, eventually they're going to have this augmented reality glasses kind of thing. But it was like years away. And other people are already producing them. And it's like, why can't Apple? I mean, I realize that maybe they just can't do, everything. But they have so many resources. You would think that they would have been able to accelerate this, earlier.
Yeah. I mean, you then chart it like Apple announced the Vision Pro in WWDC of 2023. So between 2023 and these, actually useful glasses with a display in them in 2028, that's a stretch of 5 years, which is just crazy.
Right. Yeah. Well, they got the iPod. I mean, the first iPod was like 6 months of development, 8 months of development, very, very short timeline. Of course, much less complex product, but still, nonetheless. I mean, when they want to, it kind of reminds me of the whole smart speaker thing with Alexa when Alexa blew up on with Amazon.
Oh, right.
And Apple was kind of struggling a bit then, wasn't it, with the HomePod and the Home to catch up. And of course, the HomePod was not a huge bust, but it wasn't a big success, was it? I think it's been a sleeper success.
Your point is good, though. It's like they ceded so much ground. They waited so long to get out their first product that everybody already had Alexa all over their house. And
Right.
And Apple's was way over-engineered and too expensive and broke.
I mean, mine still work. My original HomePods still work. They still sound good. I mean, there are things that are great about that product, but
And there's that guy in Seattle who can fix them.
Right.
Like,
Well, I sent him mine because it did the farting.
Oh,
It was
geez.
doing the HomePod fart, and $60. He replaced the capacitor, and I think it was all it was.
Really?
And sent
That's
it back.
Just a capacitor.
I think so. Yeah, it was just one dodgy electrical component that tends to go. Yeah, fantastic. Really good service.
maybe the move is not to buy a HomePod Mini, but instead to buy a broken HomePod on Facebook Marketplace or eBay, and then just for
Send it to this guy.
$10, send it to that guy for $60, and you got a full size HomePod.
Not a bad idea. I love the HomePod. I mean, I think they sound better than any of the Amazon speakers that I've tried. even the bigger ones. You know, like my mom's got a Show 10, and that's got a bigger speaker in it. And I don't know, the HomePods are way better. I mean, with a stereo pair of HomePods, it is a viable stereo replacement for a living room stereo. And of course, it's smart. It sounds fabulous.
Smart.
Well, it works for me.
Smart-ish.
Well, yeah, my wife was complaining about it. She keeps on getting all the remixes and stuff like that instead of the original artist. And she was, oh my God, she went on about 40-minute rant about it the other day.
It happened to me last night on the way to darts. I'm trying to queue up a song. And, you know, it's a song with like a long, cumbersome name. Did I get it exactly right? No, maybe not. But what they played was like it had one word, right? One word. It's like for some reason it just took one word. And I did this 2 times in a row. I requested this song. And
Chumbawamba?
no, it was God. I'm embarrassed to even say what it was, but it
What was it, Lewis?
there's this. It's actually, here's the problem. It's 2 songs. It's by this band called The Kings, and it's called "This Beat Goes On." / switch into glide, and then it's like radio cut or something like that, or radio mix. I can't remember exactly what it is, but you can see that's a lot of words, right? So I said,
Plus, you can't even remember what song you want. I mean, no wonder it was.
I mean, I said those things like that. And the first time I said it, and the second time I even said by the Kings. Both times it played a song called Glide by some band I've never heard of. It's just not even close, right? Not even close. So it ought to be able to like make some judgments. I mean, you shouldn't have to say the exact title of a song.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to Obsession. You remember the 80s song? It sounds like the Human League, but it's actually a different band.
You're my obsession, my desire.
Yeah, right. And I couldn't remember the name of the song, and I couldn't remember. I have no clue what the name of the band is. And on the first attempt, I said play Obsession. It plays something completely different by a completely different band. But then I said play You're My Obsession, because I remember that lyric, and it came up with it.
Really?
Perfect. Yeah.
What's the actual title of the song?
Obsession, just Obsession. But you got to say. But there's a whole bunch of songs that Obsession, right, has been recorded like by a bunch of different artists, and I have no clue what the name of the band is.
Animotion.
So, Animotion, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my experience with it is more times than not very accurate. If you're at all wrong with the title, it will not help you out. It's like, oh no, sorry, you're wrong. Here's something else you don't want to hear by a band that you've never heard of. Which, you know, granted, I'm not up on the latest stuff. Maybe this was an absolute hit track in the UK right now. I would not know. I'm not privy to that information.
More than likely. Yeah, and it's great for playing the radio and stuff like that. I have nothing but a great experience with my HomePods. You know, I play the London radio, play the BBC all the time, different radio shows, different podcasts. It seems to work for me. I have no problem because I've got beautiful enunciation and correct English.
That
and all
must
that
be
kind
it.
of stuff, you know. So probably makes all the difference.
That's why your wife struggles with it. It's your HomePod is waiting to hear the King's English.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh my God.
Well, she uses it all day too, and you know, from what I know, what am I saying? She hates it.
I mean, when it works, it's beautiful, right? But what I really hate was when there are people who come over and they've never seen a HomePod. Those people still exist, and you try to just do something very basic, and you just end up looking like a jerk because this thing just like can't do it. And you're like, oh God, the 5th time you try and do it, and it's like eventually you just pick up your phone and type in what you wanted here and have it send it to the HomePod.
Well, did you see the new Alexa ones? I mean, Amazon just rolled out a whole bunch of new Alexa products, didn't they? And they now have the smarter Alexa. And I saw one review that was kind of mixed about the smarter Alexa, saying, yeah, it was all right, not that great. I haven't experienced it yet. Don't you have to pay for it too, or does it come free with? Oh, it comes free with Prime, doesn't it?
I'm not sure. I know that Alexa got upgraded on our devices, and my wife hates the new voice. In fact, she was arguing with it like, hey, can you go back to the old voice? It's like, no, I'm sorry. This is the new. Blah, blah, blah. If you like, I can turn on the Australian version. It's like, it's just, It's not going back. It won't. It refuses to go back to the original voice, and my wife is not pleased.
Do you know what it does? What's it supposed to do, the new smarter one?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to have more conversational abilities, like not just one specific interaction. You can have like an extended series of interactions, kind of like what Apple's promising with Siri.
Well, it is still kind of remarkable, these things. My dad, would have been delighted by this stuff. He died 20 years ago, but he would have been blown away by these new technologies. He would have been it would have blown his mind. It would have been incredible.
But
He'd be posting AI slop on Facebook. And
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's all very sci-fi, but can you imagine like Spock saying, computer, do this, and it, send this and thing is now launching missiles toward blah blah blah. It's like if Siri was in charge of Star Trek, I mean, there's been some genocides going on.
Yeah. Well, let's get in there. Slowly, it's getting there. I started using Siri a lot more in my AirPods, and that was something I hadn't used a lot before, but I've been trying to train myself, and I had pretty good experience with that. I got it to do something really complex the other day. I can't remember what it was though, but I was really surprised. It worked really pretty well. Like send a text, it's good for sending a text to a specific person, that kind of thing. You can get it to a chain of things, fairly simple tasks that work.
Sure.
Quite pleased with that.
Sure, some things work.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
All right, let's talk about the new. This is the big. Well, this is not the highlight of the show, but this is the almost the highlight of the show. We're going to talk about a new massive breakthrough in mousing, and this comes from our favorite, the only person who still uses a mouse on the team, Lewis.
What? You're mouseless?
Yeah, I've been trackpad forever.
I got a trackpad sitting right here. It's probably not even charged up. I just never use it. Love the mouse. Love it. Love the MX Master.
Well, with the RSI problems, I used to have RSI problems too. My hand would be at the end of the day of using a mouse, it'd be a horrible, frozen claw.
you must have been using Apple's Magic Mouse instead of this beauty.
I've had every mouse under the sun, including this MX, the Logitech MX Master mouse, which we're going to be talking about now. In fact, I've had 2 or 3 of those over the years.
You haven't had this one.
No, I haven't had this particular one, but no RSI problems at all since moving to a trackpad. I think you should charge yours up, Lewis, and give it a shot. But anyway, let's talk about the new Logitech has got a new MX Master 4. They updated the mouse with kind of which is what took so long, for this upgrade, right?
Right. Yeah. The big addition is haptics. They've got a haptic sense panel embedded in the thumb rest of the new MX Master 4. It delivers subtle.
Thank you for finally saying the actual product name that we're talking about.
Thought we'd get
here.
around to it. It delivers subtle, purposeful vibrations that punctuate your interactions with the mouse. That sounds interesting. You can enable feedback when your cursor moves between displays, when connecting or disconnecting devices. Use it for app-specific functions like hitting layout guidelines in Adobe applications. That actually sounds awesome. I can't tell you how I struggle sometimes to get things lined up, and I hope that works in all kinds of applications, not just Adobe.
Well, the thing is, I get that on my trackpad.
You get little haptic interactions?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
All right. Well, I don't recall ever hearing one or feeling one. Let's see. So this thing came out this week. Big bombshell in the mouse world. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be popular. I mean, these are the most popular mice on the planet, as far as I can tell. I mean, everybody.
Well, and the setups posts we've been doing, I mean, it's like MX Mouse, and it's more popular than the Apple Magic Mouse.
Well, how
seemingly
can it
for
not
good
be?
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Even on the one I'm using, the MX Master 3, which I've been using for years. I mean, the speed with which you can scroll down a really long page is astonishing. The way that the mouse, or not the mouse, but the what do you call that
Scroll
little
ball.
thing?
Scroll wheel.
Scroll wheel. There we go. The way that thing feels, it kind of clicks between things, so you can move slowly, deliberately, or just race down a really long page. I mean, I love it. I don't know how people get by without it, to be quite honest. This new one, Logitech claims 2 times stronger connectivity. I haven't had any problems with connectivity with this mouse. 90% quieter clicks. Never noticed that being a problem. 70 days of battery life. That's a pretty big boost. I think I have to probably charge mine up once, a couple times a month at this point.
Does it still? Do you still have to have a little communicator? You know, with USB.
No,
dongle.
I think when I wrote about these things a long time ago, I mean, this is a while since this came out. You could get a regular version with a dongle, with like a USB-A dongle, and you can get a Mac version without one. And I was like, they're the same price. Well, seems like it's better to just get the one with the dongle, just in case. But
the dongles are usually a little more reliable than Bluetooth, especially if you have a desktop Mac and your Mac is actually far away from where you keep your mouse. But they have trade-offs.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to use it with a PC, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I remember
or you
using
don't have a USB-A port.
Yeah, right.
Want the Bluetooth
if you got
one.
a MacBook, a recent MacBook, I don't know. Maybe I haven't actually looked at the specs on this. What does the dongle look like on the MX4? Is it still USB-A?
No, it must be a USB-C, surely.
You would think, but I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I'd checked that out before starting talking about it. Anyway, these mice really are super great. I mean, I feel about my mouse the same way I feel about my Apple Watch Ultra. It's like, I love it, and it does everything I need it to do. And I also know there's like this whole other world of stuff that I don't take advantage of because I'm, too stupid to figure it out or take the time to learn it, or it's just new, and who wants to learn something new? I don't mind learning stuff new, by the way, but I started reading about this action rings thing that they've got in this, which I guess works also with MX. I've never tried it, but it's this is what our post says. Logitech's answer for those who dislike repetitive cursor movements and menu diving. The circular overlay appears anywhere on your screen when you press the haptic button, offering instant access to files, folders, applications, and custom macros. Company claims users can reduce repetitive mouse movements by up to 63% and save 33% of their time on common tasks. So I had never heard of this. I just, in the minute I had to prepare for the show, I did. It looks like that works with the MX Master 3 somehow. I don't know if that's true or if that's just AI-generated garbage, in the Google AI search results. But when I read about that, I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then when I saw that it works with my mouse, I'm like, why haven't I tried this out? So more on that later, I guess.
Good question, Lewis.
More on that later.
Well, let's talk about that next week. We can report back.
I hope I can get my hands on one of these MX Master 4s because it sounds awesome. Sounds like a great update to an already great device, kind of like the Apple Watch Ultra 3.
Well, does anyone else do haptic feedback in mice? Have you ever seen a mouse with a haptic engine?
I mean,
built
not
in?
even Apple's does that. So
Never heard of it. Doesn't mean there isn't somebody out there who's done it, but I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't been up in the world of mice for a long time, but it seems like what took so long? They've had these kind of haptic engines in iPhones for what, a long while.
long time since the iPhone 6S.
How do you remember that?
2015.
My God. He's got smart glasses on, I swear to God. Did you see him? He looked up to the upper left. He saw the...
And how was it? That's 10 years old now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It does sound pretty awesome, but I'm not going to go back to mouse. Never.
I guess we should say it's available in 4 colors. Costs $119.99.
What are the colors?
Oh, God, really? Let's see.
Rose gold,
Jeez, I don't even see the colors anyway.
orange. They have an orange
Here's a really
one.
exciting one. Pale gray. Let's see. It's got to be a black one, I'm sure.
USB-C receiver.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's nice. Graphite. White silver. What? White silver and space black.
Where are you seeing this?
On Amazon. And they right now they're going for over list price, which is exciting. $134.99 for the space black. So that's nuts.
Yeah.
Incredible negative savings.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, special offer, $119 back order. Oh, the Mac one is not back ordered on their site.
Oh. Maybe they must have made more.
Well, let's move on before this segment falls apart even more.
Thank God. Thank God for the editor.
That's enough mousing for today. Let's talk about our how-to for this week, which Griffin is going to show us. And this is how to do a folder quick look.
So we've all had this problem before. you're in the Finder, you're previewing a bunch of stuff. You hit the space bar, you can get a little preview of your various, files on your Mac desktop. But then you accidentally hit a folder, and all you get is a big preview of the folder icon and the name of it. Kind of useless. Not as handy as clicking all these files. You could get a nice, beautiful preview of images and play movies and text documents. But then you hit a folder and it's kind of useless. Well, there's a new Mac app that was just released. I believe it's for macOS Tahoe, called Folder Quick Look. It's free on the Mac App Store. Data not collected, so it's not spying on all of your folders. It supports a bunch of accessibility features, I guess. Actually, let's see what the compatibility is. Oh, it actually runs on macOS Sequoia as well, 15.6 or later. So it's completely free. You download it. Only takes a moment because it's only 18 megabytes. And this instantly fixes folder quick look. Now when you quick look a folder, you can see a whole list view inside and see its whole contents. So you can sort by name, date modified. These are interactive as well. Sort by size, preview all these folders, and suddenly you get a whole list view. It even shows you the file path below it. So super handy. I really recommend everybody try this out. This uses like a feature called like quick look extensions. So, when you install Photoshop, you can get a preview of like Photoshop files, or, when you install Microsoft PowerPoint, you get a better preview of PowerPoint files. All this does is it builds a little quick look extension for, the Finder. So you can get a quick look inside of your folders. No reason not to download it. Honestly, I think this is a new essential app that I would recommend everybody get. Super handy.
Just came out this week, right?
Yep, just came out this week.
From an independent developer named My Turn to Stump Griffin.
I did not look up that information. I'll have to bring it back up again. The developer is listed as App Ahead GmbH.
From Germany.
Folder quick look. Yeah, that's pretty handy.
It's from Martin.
Martin, there we go.
App Ahead Studio. It's completely
Quick one
free,
this
huh?
week.
There's no
No in-app purchases,
Nothing.
no purchase price.
It's awesome.
All free.
So that's a solid recommend.
I wonder if Dave uses it on his killer standing desk. Which is, so here's the real highlight of the show. Thank God we finally got to it. This is our setup section where we're going to be talking about the desk that is used by one of the Cult of Mac writers, Dave Snow. And he just got this. He's been doing a lot of tinkering with his setup and changing things around.
He's actually, because Dave writes setup posts, he actually has setup posts going back through his history of his setup, starting from when he just first started writing for us and was writing on like some crummy Dell laptop on just a pile of stuff on a desk. He's really turned his own workstation around here.
Oh wow, we should do that. We should contrast with how far he's come. Look how far he's come. I mean, look at this thing. For those that can't see this, we're looking at a straight ahead picture of this really nice looking standing desk. It looks like it has a bamboo top made out of, or it's at least veneered with bamboo. It has a different treatment at the front to the rest of the desk, but it looks like a really nice big desk. And he has got his MacBook Pro. I think that's a 14-inch MacBook Pro, which he bought. I don't know. Is it an M4? He wrote about that too.
An M4, and that is a 14-inch.
And it's attached to a very nice. Any idea what that monitor is? What is the monitor? Oh, it's he's got two 5K A-Logic Clarity displays on monitor arms. That
Wait
are
a minute,
connected
that actually might be the 16-inch, because zooming in and looking at the grill, it looks like the grill around the keyboard is a little wide. So I apologize. I can't really tell.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll look into that afterwards. But these A-Logic monitors are super nice, aren't they? These are definitely alternatives to the Apple Studio Display. These are 6K. They're a lot cheaper
They're
too.
5K. I think. Sorry, not 6K.
Oh, okay, yeah, bigger one, 5K. So Dave reviewed these as well, and he likes them. One of them is in he's got one in landscape, one in portrait up to the side, and then of course he's got the MacBook screen, and then he's got these two nice bookshelf speakers or computer speakers. At first he ordered an under-desk shelf. He liked putting the open MacBook Pro up on his desk, and that was mostly so that he can get the Touch ID, or at least it's useful for doing Touch ID. It's a no-brainer there. Mm-hmm. They're Edifier MR3 speakers. Edifier makes really nice stuff. He's got this thing called Uplifts Glass Desk Blotter. What's that?
It's just like a little glass plate. Looks like a rather, I don't know how big it is. Looks like it's about 2 feet wide and like 8 inches deep. It's just like a big glass plate that he has his computer and trackpad and mouse and everything sitting on top of, so that I guess any sweat from his palms doesn't discolor the nicely varnished surface of his desk or anything.
All right.
Preserves it, a little placemat for his computer.
I see. Got it. Yeah.
He has I was looking at this. He has just so many pointing devices. I mean, now that he has the MacBook Pro sitting open, he's got his MacBook Pro keyboard and trackpad, another keyboard, another trackpad, another mouse, and a palm rest with a built-in pointing device. So that's like 6 combined pointing devices all open on his desk surface.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. It's a wob key, which I completely can't. Every time I look at that, I want to say wobbly key. A wob key, Rainy 75 mechanical keyboard, a Contour roller mouse, red wireless, Logitech MX Anywhere 3 mouse for Mac, and a Magic Trackpad 2. So the Contour roller mouse red wireless is a really interesting device, because I hadn't again, Dave reviewed this and he is in love with this thing. It's supposed to be an anti-RSI mousing device, which
it's like a big leather wrist pad, except in the center of it there's almost like one of those ThinkPad like track point things in the middle. So or I guess it's more like a track ball. It's got like a little roller and like buttons around it, but it also doubles as a wrist rest. So it's right between where your thumbs would be. The 75% keyboard, mechanical keyboard, is a good addition, because you get all the letter and number keys and page up and page down and the arrow keys in a normal arrow key layout, but you don't have the number pad in the way. So it's minimal distance between your keyboard and mouse. But
right.
He's just got way too many things open.
I know. Why has he got a trackpad
Yeah.
on the right and a mouse on the left, and like you said, the thing in the middle?
He's left-handed.
What's he using the trackpad for then?
For all the gestures. So he gets the best of both worlds. He has the gestures on his trackpad, and he also gets the left-handed mouse. And he doesn't have the Logitech MX Master 3, because I think that's explicitly a right-handed mouse, but he has the ambidextrous one that's symmetrical on each side.
I see.
I have just a few little nitpicky comments here.
Oh, here we go.
Look, because he has his center monitor on a monitor stand, but he doesn't have it high enough for the speakers to fit under that monitor, which then means that his 2 monitors, like his vertical one, is like, it looks like there's a foot of distance between his 2 monitors. Like, that's just a huge gap. He's got to be like turning his neck all the way to the right to look at that right monitor. So, I mean, if I were him, I would scooch that center monitor up, bring those speakers in, and bring the monitors a little closer together. His desk has a little, like the hole in the surface that you're supposed to route the cables through. He hasn't done that. There are a lot of cables that just like sort of...
Oh, the cable management is awful. Dave,
he just has everything hiding behind that MacBook Pro. Like the open MacBook Pro lid just hides a string of cables falling to the ground.
Oh, that's you ain't seen the rat's nest. If you think that's a rat, it just looks like the ultimate pristine cable management compared to the mess I got at my place.
Yeah. And plus it looks like it's in a down position. So are you really standing, Dave? Is he?
No.
I think there's a different image in the post that has it in the standing position.
That's what's great about standing desks. The little thing on the right there, you make it go up, you make it go down. It's just so you have a varied stance throughout the day.
Well, I had a standing desk, and I think I put it up once, and then I put it down again, and then I sat at it.
Well, I mean, my honest recommendation is I always feel a little dangerous raising and lowering a desk. What I did at my former job, when I actually had one of those, a real job, imagine that, I had them just permanently raise my desk, just install longer metal legs on it, and then I just got a tall chair, so I didn't have to move the desk. I could just transition between standing and sitting by either
Well,
sitting in my
how much
chair.
standing, how much sitting?
Well, I didn't have to go through like a 5-minute ordeal of waiting for this mechanical thing to lower and like mess up all
5
my
minutes.
wires. I could just sit down or stand up.
Clearly
and
never
it was
used a
nice.
standing desk.
Well, I found standing, it just hurt my back, and I just felt more uncomfortable and then my bloody feet hurt, and so I just went back to slouching, and I'm quite happy with that. So do you stand now or sit?
Well, that was my old job. Since I work from home and I built this whole studio and the tables for these, I now sit all the time. But
Yeah, right.
I
The way it
alternate
should be.
between sitting at my desk at my Mac and sitting on my couch in the Vision Pro. So I've got a combination sit setup.
Well, the couch, yeah, that's
Yeah.
at least it's comfy.
I
Do you still stand, Lewis?
Yeah, most all the time. Sometimes, like if I'm sick or tired, or particularly tired or something, sometimes I'll sit down a little bit. But yeah, mostly standing.
Has it helped?
I think I feel way better all the time in general than when I was sitting all the time.
Well, now they say that like stationary standing isn't good enough. You need to be, if you're standing at a standing desk, you need to have like one of those little like walking pads,
Right.
like minimal treadmills.
I don't think I'll be doing that. If you look at this company that Uplift, this company that Dave got this standing desk to review, they have one of these things. I remember we had one of these back in Cult of Mac office in the old days. I don't know if it's the same company, but a bamboo Motion X board. It's like a platform that you're supposed to stand on that has like probably
Well, it had a
circular
curved
thing on
bottom,
the
didn't it?
bottom. Yeah, curved bottom, or I can't actually see this thing, but you stand on it so that you're not completely like stationary, right? It's like you kind of wobble.
You're just wiggling throughout the day.
Wobble. I don't know. I remember when that was in the office. I was just like, I can't get used to this. I can't. I understand like that probably works your core. Makes
It was like a burpee, isn't it?
Yeah,
at the gym.
Yeah.
But a wooden version. I know. It hung around the office for about 10 years, and no one ever used it, and I finally chucked it out.
Oh wow! If you want to nitpick about Dave's setup, look at that. He's got that beautiful center of that desk. It goes in slightly, right? But a concave front edge,
Yeah.
and he's got the glass thing that comes out over it. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know, like one of those things at the Grand Canyon where you walk out over the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Oh, God, that horrible, that viewing platform.
Yeah.
And he's got this beautiful station that's beautifully lit, and then like immediately to the right of the desk is just like a chair with stuff on it and a pile of stuff in the corner. So,
Well,
yeah.
nothing's centered. The rug,
I didn't want to
centered.
mention the rug, but yeah, the rug.
Oh, look, the
Dave's going to
picture,
hear this.
the
He's going to
rug,
come after us.
and no, I mean his computer isn't centered on the desk, is it? It's
Yeah.
all skewed off to the
isn't
left.
centered with the painting next to it because that the monitors are blocking.
Well, I think the point is Dave didn't spend 4 days getting his thing picture perfect so he could take that one perfect Instagram shot. He actually uses his desk, and as you mentioned, I mean it's been quite a transformation over the years. It ain't, and I mean let's be honest, it ain't that easy to change things up, like change your desk, change all these things. I mean, you kind of put stuff in place, and then you're like, oh well, I really should have done this, and everything you do, like I don't know, I find it tiresome.
True enough. It's not bad. It's a nice setup. It's pretty clean. It's like he's got what he needs and nothing more.
Looks effective.
Yeah, definitely. He's very productive, so
That's true. That's
it
true.
definitely works.
I'm really
Yeah.
fascinated by so he just has like a presumably like safe image of his work that he does. So he's got Slack on the external monitor, but then he has like these two windows to the right on his right monitor that just look like text edit windows. One of them has like a big table in it. One of them is like some text document. I can just barely not read it, and that's really frustrating to me. I really want to know what he has on those screens. Like, is that like a planning document where he plans articles he's writing, or I don't know. It's fascinating.
Instructions from
Good question.
MI5.
Yeah, but then he has nothing on his MacBook screen on the bottom. Like,
And it looks like he's writing in the CMS.
Oh, I'm sure he's just copied it into there.
Big no-no. Because I do it every time. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the question. And this week we have a great question. It comes from Rob on Mastodon. Griffin, what's his question?
He wrote to me in a DM personally to get his question on the show. He writes, "I'm disappointed. How did you not give LK crap for buying the Pro again? Again. LOL, he swore he'd get a standard or the Air. I've signed up for Mastodon specifically to ask you this. P.S. Love the show still. 0G listener." I think he intended to write OG, but he wrote 0G.
So
I guess he's
in
listening in
space.
on the International Space Station.
0G listener. But at least he loves the show, despite our complete inconsistency and total waffling and just making stuff up as we go along. Mm-hmm. Well, like I said to Griffin earlier on, like I have only a very, very memory of these promises that I made.
I remember some talk about this.
I remember calling it, "You're going to buy whichever phone is the last one Apple talks about." And they ended on the Pro, and that's ended up what you... that's just what
oh,
you
is
bought.
that the reason why? Well,
yeah.
the real reason I did is because, you know, when we were planning out the release schedule and what people were reviewing, the one that no one was getting was the regular Pro. Like the Pro Max had already been taken, the Air had been taken, the regular phone had been taken. So I sacrificed, really, for the sake of this, you know, this organization. I was forced to buy this Pro when I really wanted to get something else. Actually, I would have been happy with any of them, really, to be honest. But I now that I do have the Pro, I'm actually quite happy that I got the Pro. The cameras are amazing. You know, they really do make a difference. But I would have been happy with the regular one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So sorry, Rob. I hope this explanation satisfies. Makes sense.
Okay, well, you said, everybody else is signing up for you haven't written any reviews so far. It's not like you're going to write up a review of the regular Pro.
Well, hold on. I wrote a review of the Tech Woven case, which I haven't published, but I have kind of written it. No, I didn't I write a review or reviewed? I wrote something.
you wrote blurbs about all the reviews that we wrote for the newsletter.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, I have a huge, media empire to run. Can't be, digging into reviews. That plus I'm terrible at them. So anyway, it's a mercy that I stayed away from the reviews. Well, anyway, thanks, Rob, for listening to the show, and thanks for signing up on Mastodon too. Hope you enjoy Mastodon. You and Griffin and 3 other people can talk about it. Anyway, I think let's wrap it up there. That's all the CultCast we have for you this week. Thanks so much for listening. If you want to hear more, Lewis is on Twitter, Lewis Wallace. Griffin's on Mastodon and Blue Sky at D. Griffin Jones. And I write the Cult of Mac Today newsletter, which you can find at newsletters.cultofmac.com. And I highly recommend you sign up for that. It's a great way to get all of the Cult of Mac goodness in your inbox every day. It's a fab newsletter. It's a really great way to see our content. And we have all these amazing features too in the newsletter, like tweets of the day.
Ooh, baby.
Daily Steve Jobs quote and a daily poll, which is my favorite part. I love the daily poll.
Yeah, people love the polls. The polls do great, and the comments. So the commenting system's horrible, but if you leave a comment, I mean, we always put the reader comments in at the bottom. Yeah, and the polls always get a lot of, they're popular. People like the polls. Lewis and I should do a better job of dreaming them up, but apart from that, the polls. Oh, and wallpaper of the day. That's a great one. I like that. No one else seems to like it, but I do. So it's in there. Anyway, send us a text link. Send us at the top of the show notes or in YouTube comments. That's a good way. Or even sign up for Mastodon. If a couple of people sign up, you could double the user numbers there on that platform overnight. And send us your comments. We'd love to answer your questions. Well, that's been the CultCast, the best hour-long conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the CultCast come out every Thursday night, and we want to thank you for listening. And we'll catch you all next time. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Goodbye.
See ya.
All right, cool. That wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
And did we bring it in on time?
I have an hour and 10 minutes, so
Okay, not too
cut
bad.
down
On time.